I know it was an accident.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Oh, there's more people.
Hi. Join. We haven't started yet. Excellent. We have been slightly delayed. Thank you for coming in. Wonderful. This is Cosplay 101. So if you wanted to watch us talk about Cosplay 101 dynamics, you're in the right place. I am Tala Silver, dressed today as the Lady Amalthea, and I guess I am going to be emceeing this since we do not have an MC. So, ladies, come down the line. Let's start off with who we are and who we are dressed as.
Okay, I'm Roxana Meta. I am dressed as Arwen today.
I am Shantae, and I'm dressed as Emily Storm today.
I'm Zero Q Cosplay, and I'm here as the Black Canary.
Alright.
Okay.
Here we go.
We were just double checking that we do not, in fact, need a moderator and or an MC.
Yeah, we got this.
So,
We got it.
we're fine.
I'm a queen. I'm a queen.
So this is Cosplay 101.
We start with the
Let's
basics.
start with the basics, right?
And the basic is anyone can cosplay, and it doesn't matter your skill level. That's the most important part.
Alright, we're done.
But, no, that is what we're going to be drilling into your heads, because a lot of people always say that they're really nervous about cosplaying, or they see a lot of cosplayers who are experienced in working with visual media that's very similar to what they use for movie props, or movie costuming, or they have years of sewing under their belt, and lots of things, and it can be really intimidating, and we're here to say,
It
stop
doesn't
it.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I use stuff from my home. Like, I don't always go and get the most expensive things. It's just, find your own creativity, and you can do anything. I'm telling you, anything. I mean, my cake was just, I ain't gonna tell you all my secrets and stuff. But
We're not like that.
Yeah.
Only she's like that.
Yeah.
The rest of us will tell you our
I'll tell you.
That's not always true. That's not always true.
Whatever.
For the most part.
But no, I'm not doing that. But you can do anything. I mean, don't ever feel intimidated to be whoever you want to be. Size, shape, or color, it doesn't matter. Just cosplay, because we're all here to have fun at the end of the day. And it's awesome at the same time. I mean, we're grown in costumes. So it's it's fun, right?
Yeah, if
We're
you
not
were-
weird for that.
If
Right?
you, well, I mean, there's four of us. It can't be that weird.
I know.
It's the good weird, though.
It's a good
like,
weird.
Is it weird? Like, I would be lying if
So
I told you
cosplay is
no,
a good
but-
weird.
Okay,
Yeah.
taking notes? We're taking notes? Yeah.
We
if
will
you
be
were-
quizzed on this at the end of the panel.
No, you won't. So if you were the kid, like I was, and like a lot of us were, that was like obsessed with Halloween growing up, and then maybe as
Yes.
an adult obsessed with Halloween, well, you've come to the right place. The convention scene is the place to have Halloween year-round, and that is
But
definitely
we probably have problems.
Yeah.
So.
no,
Maybe
that's
not.
not a problem. This is our people. You've come to the right place.
You are our people. We're a cult, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll go down the line. Zero Q, how long have you been cosplaying?
I've been cosplaying, like, officially, like, making my costume since 2011. I feel like I started my first costume. I went to, like, WonderCon in 2009, dressed up in, like, a Halloween store, like, bag costume.
Which is a good place to start.
Which is an excellent way to start, too. Like, you just gotta put the thing on and go to the place.
Thing on.
Yeah, and, like,
You have to put the thing on.
no matter what it is, just put on the thing and go to the place.
And
Whatever you
have
want
fun.
to be. There's a lot of things you can put on your body, but yeah,
See,
You don't have to
my
shoot.
mind is not right.
You don't have to shoot super high for your
Yeah.
first time. Like
Yeah.
you can like buy something store-bought and look awesome.
I know so many people who are like, I want my first cosplay to be this like crazy, like I want to be Sarah Kerrigan from StarCraft
Don't
and
put
like
that
do
much
all that.
pressure.
I'm like, don't do that. Don't do
It's a
It's
lot
that.
your
of
first
pressure.
cosplay. I'm sorry, but sometimes it ain't going.
You know what? Buy that T-shirt from Hot Topic. Put on your little hot pants. Be Sookie
You know, I
Snack
gotta
House.
say something though.
Yeah.
It's gone mainstream, so you can get a lot of pretty good quality stuff at even Hot
Even at Hot
Topic.
Topic now.
They're
I went to the thrift shop.
Yeah.
You can go to thrift shop. You can go to thrift shop.
Yeah.
too.
The problem with the
Because they got some
store-bought
stuff in there.
the store-bought costumes can be expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you can't afford to start there,
Yeah.
then thrift shopping is where a lot of us like I still buy pieces at thrift shops.
Yeah.
Silver and I will go like make a day of it, like go thrift shopping, and that's a really good way to start learning sewing skills too. Is just like slightly altering pre-existing garments.
Yeah.
'Cause if you're trying to construct something from scratch
You
for
don't
the
want to get
first
the money.
time,
You don't want to get the most expensive.
yeah, it's
thing
going to be
mess
really
up on.
daunting.
You don't want to do that.
So I actually learned to sew by altering garments that I already had, and then sort of like stepped up in small steps from there.
But when did you start cosplaying?
Right around the same time. I think my biggest one was a big wow for me. Yeah, I was representing, you know. I was like, look at me, but you know, I really didn't know too much then. But me and my husband, he got me into it, which is right there in front. Okay,
Paying attention.
Black Panther.
Can't say that.
I mean, I'm just saying. But no, I only about, yeah, so, but you know, it seems like forever. It seems, you grow. That's another thing I have to say, you grow. Because when I first started out, you know, I really didn't know how to glue nothing together too much, you know, or sew anything, but you grow over time. Definitely.
I assume you're going to ask me how long I've been
Yes,
cosplaying.
how long have you been cosplaying?
Question of today.
Since 2007. And that's not counting the Halloween obsession that I had. And I would go all out like for Halloween and do like crazy movie-based like costumes that nobody recognized. And then I realized that there's like a whole nerd
People
convention
do
scene.
recognize.
And, yes,
Yeah,
and like
people do
I can
recognize.
go in my Arwen dress and people will be friendly and you know, I really like that's the thing. It's like such a sense of
you're not
community.
cosplaying Elsa?
That's
not Frozen?
No.
I think half the times you've seen me, I've been Elsa.
Yeah.
So that's a fair question. But yeah, and that's the great thing is like once you start, you realize there's this amazing community. Like obviously here we're up here having a good time. Like we people become friends. It's really easy to make friends. There's people with amazing skills that you can learn from, both online and in person. And that I think really like for me is the bottom line. Besides the obvious like expression of creativity, there's a really great community and we made a lot of friends. And like you're like one of my best friends now.
No, you
and,
really do make a lot of friends. I got a lot of good friends, especially all this whole row right here. Like everyone's just all my friends. Everyone I'm going to represent you. Oh well, okay, you. But yeah, you do make a lot of friends. You're right about that.
So how long have you been cosplaying
Forever.
Tall as Silver? Forever.
Well,
More than
I
longer than
feel
all of us, I think.
I gotta be old, but I'm not that old.
Why are you
so
fixing those sleeves then, girl?
She's feeling
I need to roll up my
Oh,
sleeves to say that I started cosplaying officially since 2005. So way longer than you guys.
I've only got 2 years.
What that's supposed to mean?
Well, that's why she's moderating over there.
That's why I'm the moderator, obviously. But no, I was a very play-oriented child who loved to dress up and be in character and commit. So, like I would wear my Halloween costume for fun and be Spot from 101 Dalmatians and like put milk and cookies in a bowl and then wrap it up because I committed to character. Method.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're committed.
She's a method cosplayer.
Yeah,
It's true.
She's committed on that.
Yeah.
But my first convention was going to San Diego Comic-Con. Comic-Con was my first convention. And I had started going back in 2003 when you could still buy tickets at the door day of. I know. But I grew up with that because I started doing that when I was a teenager. And I would see these amazing costumes. And these people were so friendly. And I'm like, I want to do that. I can do that here. That's amazing. And I didn't feel like I was up to par until I won first place in a horror makeup design contest for theater. It was at Ohlone Theater College. They had this huge competition. And I did Sally makeup from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I won first place. And it turns out one of the judges actually worked on the movie. So I was plotzing all over myself, like couldn't handle my fandom. And so I had made the dress for Halloween because it was the 10th anniversary of The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I was like, why, I dressed up as Jack Skellington when it first came out as a wee little girl, and I will dress up as Sally for the 10th anniversary. I still have that costume. I learned how to sew on that costume. For the most part, I took a thrift store dress that was a little big on me, I modded it, I cut it up, hacked it to pieces a little bit, went to Joann's, because almost every place has a Joann's, at least a couple cities nearby.
And they have increasingly good stuff. I mean,
They're
back then they
getting
didn't.
They
as
did
much.
then.
But they have a lot of, even like specifically cosplay-oriented fabrics now. So there's actually
And
really good
patterns
stuff
now,
out
which
there.
is great. But
Yeah.
back then,
Right.
it didn't happen, so you had the
Said
old
back
fashion
then.
style.
Back then.
Back then, well, that's
It was back
been
then.
11 years.
That's
That's a long time.
How old are we?
Yeah, right? So,
I know we went.
I just went to the scrap fabric area. I had my Sally action figure that was movie accurate.
It's like, this is me.
This is me. I need to find this fabric for this patch and this fabric for this patch.
And
It was
they'll help
great.
you. Like,
And
they'll
they will
help
help.
you. Yeah.
But I was just kind of gerbling through. And I used fabric glue because you didn't need to sew it because it needs to look falling apart. And I used really coarse stitches because she has really coarse stitches. And it was great and I had so much fun. I had toy creators take pictures of me at Comic-Con and say, this is what Sally looks like. She's not brightly colored. We need to make our toys based off of her. And I was just like beside myself as a tiny teenager. And everyone, so I've seen the community grow. Yeah, I was
Tiny teen.
15. I was 15. No, wait. 15 going on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the date there.
Where was I going? Oh, so I've seen the community grow. And I've seen people get into cat fights over things. You're like, this is not a contest. Unless you're actually in a contest, and even then,
You know, we're playing dress up, right?
we're
Like,
adults playing dress up.
I
take
never
it so
see a reason
serious.
to take it this
Don't
serious.
take it so serious. I didn't have my run-ins. Don't take it so serious. Don't run in with me with that stuff.
That has to
We
be.
all grown in costume.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think about that?
Well, I need to be the best storm, obviously.
No, that's not no.
Okay, if you're cosplaying and you run into somebody else wearing the same costume,
Don't be trying to.
so, yeah,
Don't be like.
like if I go wearing, I have a Black Canary costume and I ran into you,
Take a
I'd be like,
picture.
yes!
We're awesome because
So,
we're
yeah.
both like doing the
There
same stuff.
There are people
Somehow.
who will be really weirdly possessive
Yeah.
about it, but that's not how
How
we
do you
roll.
think you the only? Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm clearly not. I'm the only stone today. But I ain't the only stone all the time. You know, you can't just be like, I'm mad. It's people got the right. I'm not the only person that loves Storm. I mean, I really do control everything, weather and all. But you know, I'm not
Other
gonna
than
control.
that.
Yeah, other than that.
Yeah.
I know so many people who will see another people in their same cosplay from across the room and be like, well, mine's done this way,
Yeah.
hers is done that way, and I'm like,
I use real material.
it's not
Like,
it's not
no.
the same experience.
No.
They're having a different experience from you. They're having fun doing their thing. You're having fun doing your thing. So you need to chill out. You're an adult in a Halloween costume. Oh my god.
Actually, if you go up to them, like you will often be able to trade tips.
Yeah, exactly.
I have actually learned a decent amount from people at conventions where I'm like, that is a flawless hem. Like, how did you get the
I
fabric to do
become
that?
greater as a cosplayer.
I feel like how I met you is I went up to your Black Canary and I went, yours is so much better than mine. Let's talk about it.
And I was
She was like,
yeah.
She was like, girl, I
Well,
got
I ain't ran into no
storm.
storm yet, but I'm sure I will.
Is gonna happen.
But I'm gonna ask her some questions because it's a, you know, we always,
Yeah.
we don't know how, if some stuff be more crisp on other people sometimes too.
Exactly.
We be like, hold on, wait a minute, I need to do this, you know what I mean, do that. Like, it's just good experience, a new friend.
And I'm sure all of us are self-taught.
Yeah,
Right?
we
So
are.
all of us are self-taught. Sometimes you walk up to somebody and you're like, your hem is perfect. What's up with that? And they're like, I went to school for this. And I'm like, great. I'm not going to spend $100,000 on this rhythm education. Let's talk about that hem right there. Help me out. So
Yeah, I
it's-
didn't even know you went to school for it.
It's
I just wanted to know how it's nice him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna hurt you to go over to that person and say, hey, your costume looks nice. What's that technique? What's this, that, and the other? Because you're gonna learn, you're gonna make a friend. That person's not gonna be like, well, your costume looks like garbage, so
Don't
bye.
talk to me.
I'm not gonna talk
You're
to
never
you.
gonna have that experience. I've never had that
And
experience.
if you have that experience, you come find me,
Oh, she'll take care of it for
and
you.
I will take care of you.
No, I'm gonna take care of him. I don't like that hater stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that's wrong.
People need to stop
And
sitting
then,
on the
like,
theory.
It's amazing. It's amazing how much you find yourself almost accidentally learning. Like, how many years have we done this? And like, and it's amazing to actually look at something and say, oh, I think I do know how to make that. And like, don't expect that to come right away, but it will magically, like, your skills will build up over time, and it's very exciting. Because for every new costume, you're learning at least 1 or 2, if not 5 or 6 new things.
We always joke that we level up.
That's right.
Like, you level up, yeah, every time.
And like video games, we level up.
And if you have that dream costume that you think is like crazy, overcomplicated, and you don't think you can tackle it to start with, remember, like if you start with something a little easier, you will get there. Like that is not an unachievable goal. I feel like we've probably all had like the dream cosplay.
I'm wearing it.
Like I never thought I would make an
I'm wearing it today.
Exactly.
And like 2 years ago, I think I was going to be able to wear it.
You can do it. And then after a couple years, you go, oh, I'm doing the thing. Like, I do that.
Yeah, I'm doing the thing. The thing. You guys got the thing.
Yeah, it's the thing.
I don't know, what is this thing? I don't know.
It's the thing.
I'm scared.
We're gonna know by the end of this panel.
I'm going to know?
You'll know what the thing is.
Cosplay 101, the thing.
The thing.
Do the thing.
Is it appropriate?
And talk
It
to
should
us
be.
about
It
it.
should be. It's because
Just children.
it's for everyone. So the thing is very appropriate for everyone. But what I like to do when looking at a costume that I want to make and put on my body, I usually break it down. So a couple months ago, right before Silicon Valley Comic-Con, Kevin Wada, an amazing artist, came out with the first image of the Scarlet Witch for her solo run, and he styled her in like haute couture fashion. Haute couture. So it wasn't very costumey, but at the same time it was very elegant. And then it was about, 2 weeks before the convention, I was just pondering in my brain, could I actually do this? Because she has
Like you mentally
a
break
very
it apart, like-
meticulously beaded crown.
Right.
And then she has this off-the-shoulder shirt, basically, that has some striping and paneling, and she's just very cheeky, and this elegant cape that's swirling around her.
So that's 3.
So that's 3.
And you need pants.
And then I needed pants, but
And
they were
boots.
just black leggings, and then boots and gloves, and I'm like, okay.
And like once you've broken it down,
Once you break it down, you go, well, I just can add a panel here. I get a red off-the-shoulder thing from like Amazon, which usually can be really cheap if I can't thrift one. I have my hair. Maybe if I take some lace. Oh, Meta, you have some jewelry wire, right?
Yeah, I do.
Can we have a stitch of it?
Come over and I'll help you make it.
I'm gonna be beading for the first time. Ah! And so then I made that costume in 2 weeks when I went from nothing to something. But as long as you break down each piece, then suddenly you have little steps that make that costume way more attainable and not so oppressively scary. That's usually the first thing, though.
Impressively scary.
Oppressively scary. I can't do the thing.
You can do the thing.
You can do
And
the
if you
thing.
think you can't, come talk to us and we'll encourage you.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say, should we like take questions as well?
I would love an idea.
Does anybody have any questions for us? Because otherwise it's going to be us like,
We're not going to chat forever.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, just raise your hand or stand up or do anything.
Wait,
dance. In front, yes?
Best bag.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
Right now. Okay, next question.
Embarrassing? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm sure.
Oh, I got a good one.
Yes.
We got some good ones over here.
Okay, so I'm at Fanime last weekend. So you know what I'm talking about. So I'm one of those cosplayers. I'm what we in the business call a lazy cosplayer. And sometimes I will do things and I'm like, I don't need to finish that hem. I don't need to do that. I don't need to tuck in those boots. I'll just put it on. So I'll just put it on.
Why did you do that?
Because I'm a
You started out
dum-dum.
bad.
Because I'm a dum-dum. So I'm at Fanime last week, and is anybody familiar with the show Scream Queens? So if you know,
Oh, the ones that scream all the time.
yeah, exactly.
Those girls.
I'm a loud person. It works. So I'm cosplaying as Chanel from Scream Queens, and so instead of just making this skirt, I decided to go to Forever 21 and buy a dress in the appropriate fabric, and I was like, oh, I'll just part the fabric from that. Got lazy at the last minute, like 2 days of the con. I was like, I'm just gonna cut the top off of this, and it's a skirt now. Hey, it works. So I didn't
No,
cap.
I didn't.
No, and I didn't cap the zipper in the back. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. So we're walking to the shoot, and my boyfriend's like, oh, honey, your skirt's not skipped up all the way. And I'm like, ah! And he just rips the thing. He just rips the zipper
right off the.
just right off the end. And he's like,
God.
ooh. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
fine. This is fine. This is great right now. So he goes back up to the room to get bobby pins. I'm like, well, I got a shoot to go to, so I'm just gonna
Bobby
keep. I'm gonna
pins?
keep watching. Not bobby pins, safety pins.
Oh, I thought you said that's not
tights
gonna.
on at least, or
Huh?
do you have tights on at least, or something? No, all right.
So you're old. You experienced walking.
No.
Why do you call? How do you give you my number?
So I'm walking and this skirt is just like coming undone. My friend's like, don't sit down. I'm like, okay, so what do I do? Sit down. So boyfriend comes along. We just like literally just safety pin the back of the skirt together, and that's my story.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
Sometimes you just make mistakes, and that's fine.
Some days it's
My story ain't even
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Mine ain't even like that. Well, I was just in a wasp costume my first time, and I fell downstairs. Okay, but you see, I just tumbled over a couple stairs, which is more embarrassing because nobody really expected. They're like, and I would be like, "Are you okay?" Because I really didn't fall all the way, but I have wings, so it kind of was embarrassing. I'm falling down the
Like
stairs
your
and
wings,
wings
like
and stuff. My wings is like, and she flies up, you know what I mean? Some people when they see, that's how we are. When you see people in costumes, we kind of almost have that little bit of you feel that's really them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you probably gonna pick some butt. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody else touches me, we're then
Yeah, it's going down. So, you know, right now I feel like I can control the weather, which I can't. But, you know, I fell down the stairs and I was in the wasp, and it's like my wings didn't clip off or nothing.
Yeah.
But it was just embarrassing because, like, my wig that I had on was lopsided in my face. And then it was like I had, you know, the concrete and it's like ashy elbows and I had leather pants on, so it was like ashy on the knees and stuff like that. It was wrong. It was wrong for me, you know, I'm black. You know, it's just not right.
That actually reminds me of, because I have a story you just reminded me of one.
But it ain't as bad as yours, though.
That's not your
pretty
fault
bad. Yeah, that was
either. Like, you
pretty
could
bad.
fall down the stairs and people would be like, oh, that poor thing.
No one was poor thing. No, it was not. People are not always nice.
Yeah.
They kept, oh my God, and kept walking.
Don't do that.
Don't do
That's
that.
what they do.
Yeah.
It was wrong.
So my embarrassing story starts with everybody should wear sunblock when you know you were going to. Yeah.
Yep.
So San Diego Comic-Con, we were doing the Gender Bent Justice League. You know where this is
2011.
going.
Yep.
And I was dressed as Aquaman, and I had this like cool kind of scaly top. And for whatever insane reason, I scheduled our group photo shoot at noon, high noon, in San Diego, like on the roof of the convention. I don't know.
I'm
The
sorry, I
roof of the
didn't ask
convention center.
questions.
No, it's a good question. So I had to put on sunblock, and by the end of the shoot, I was completely red. But the weird thing was that I had little scale patterns, like in the sunburn, all across my chest, and then like all across
So you
my
got
back.
cosplayed by the sun.
Yeah. It was doing a whole design on me.
That's messed up.
And
That's
that,
like,
and then that takes like a week to go away, and then it's a tan, and then I had a funny scale tan for the rest of the summer. Like, wear sunblock, guys. It's good for your skin.
please do. 'Cause I
And
don't
your
want that to happen.
self-image.
Yep.
Come on.
I would say, well, it's hard to say what's embarrassing and what's no, this wasn't embarrassing for me. This was inappropriate
You've
for
done
you.
something for other people that has been embarrassing.
You telling
for other
a
people.
story
I don't
about
know.
somebody
I
else?
probably.
No, now you have to tell it.
I'm thinking about the sunburn stuff.
Yeah.
I was Batman for our Gender Bent Justice League. So guess who got a happy little bat freckle mark line on just her mouth? This girl. Previous day, I was Power Girl, so I had a freckle mark
Right there.
on my boob window. But happily as bats, it was
It was
covered.
covered, yeah.
I am not one to be easily embarrassed.
No, she is not.
So
Yeah.
often I find I might
amazing.
be
It's
antics
amazing.
like I might embarrass people for
I
them.
think you've embarrassed me more often than you've embarrassed yourself.
I apologize.
No, it's all right.
But I have this like
It's
so much
okay.
hair.
Yeah, feeling embarrassed right now.
She's standing
I
there.
am standing. Well, in case somebody has
She
a
is
question.
standing up, huh?
He's unhappy.
What's embarrassing?
Girl,
it trying to touch you in ways, and it took a couple times for me to say, no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You cannot touch me like that. Like, no, that is making you grabbing me by the waist and pulling me to you is not okay.
Yeah.
Or I was poison ivy one time at Comic-Con, and I usually like do a faux kissy face at somebody, like on their, like by their cheek, when for a picture, because you're posing and you're poison ivy and she kisses people, right? The guy went, oh, and turns and grabs me and kisses me, and I just slapped him.
Did you?
I slapped him.
Where was I at?
I don't know. I'm surrounded by people, but nobody saw this. And I just slapped him and said, no, that is not okay. And he's like, well, I'm like, no, that was a pose for a picture. That is not okay. So, to make you not have an embarrassing story, it's, or to feel embarrassed, or like I was wearing, you know, Wonder Woman. She doesn't wear pants. That's not your fault if you feel awesome as Wonder Woman. But if somebody goes through your bubble of personal safety and you feel uncomfortable, you let them know, you're making me uncomfortable. Please stop.
Yeah, take charge
Don't
for
think just
yourself.
because it's cosplay, you can't get a little.
Cosplay does not equal consent.
That a little bit.
That's not how that
You
works.
gotta tell somebody.
That's not how that works.
Yes.
Tell them, or you know.
And that is an unfortunate reality for especially women cosplaying. Like,
It is.
Although I've heard some stories from men
But
too.
you know, look at it.
But yeah, if you look out for each other, you know, always look out for the people that you're with.
Always look out for each other.
Like,
I'm on that team. If somebody's making you feel uncomfortable, somebody's putting you down, you fight tall as silver. And I will stand up for you, and then I will probably make you embarrassed. I'm sorry, it's loud and aggressive at the other person. How bad?
Does anybody else have any questions?
Any other questions before we wrap up? Because we have a Captain Phasma and looking amazing. Yes?
What was your most complicated costume to construct from one movie?
For all of us,
Unfortunately, sometimes the most complicated stuff is the most simple stuff.
yeah.
If you need something to look really crisp and flawless,
Yeah.
and like that's not a very interesting
Yeah.
answer. But General Leia, I made one of the General Leia's costumes from The Force Awakens, and it's this just like flawless like blue tunic, and it looks really simple, but it's deceptive. So unfortunately, sometimes like the most impressive stuff can actually be the easiest and the most fun to make, and the simplest stuff can be this real struggle.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
mine was Savage Storm. I mean, because I'm wearing a loincloth. You gotta make sure your loincloth doesn't come off. What? Girl. I mean, you know, I'm just trying. But no, it was, I mean, you know, you don't want your loincloth all coming off in front of all the kids and stuff, you know? So it's just like, I had to make sure, like, you gotta really know your body. You gotta really know your shape and know what's good for you. Because if you, look, people will eat you alive in this game. They can. You know what I mean? Because you don't want your stuff showing everywhere, and you're supposed to be a little bit more covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause some of our costumes, you know,
Like have fun, but
You
take
know,
care of
but you
yourself. But take care of yourself.
take care, yes. Take care of yourself, because you know, but that was probably the most hard, because I had all the beads, and I had to look like a jungle. And it was just kind of hard to just kind of get all the loincloth material all together and stick on you, and then I had to tape with that one too, and
It's really satisfying though when you get it.
yeah, it's satisfying, because I was like, I said, I'm looking like I'm about business.
You're cute.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah, my most complicated one, I do a Frankie Stein costume from Monster High. And the doll that I have is their Sweet Dreams version. And she's basically wearing, it's all candy inspired. So she's got these like disgustingly high heels that look like melted black candy. And so I had to like hot glue all the drips on there. I had to hand paint the shoes. The dress is a bunch of like vertical, drippy, like licorice. I'm like, well, that fabric doesn't exist. I guess I gotta paint this. Had to make like this
That sounds hard.
big old
You couldn't mess up
jacket.
anything.
Yeah, the construction-wise, the dress was, very simple. The jacket was very simple. It was just all the little details that went into it. And then I have to paint myself green on top of that, which is like,
6 hours.
it was like a 4-hour long process. You want to get to your con on time. It's like, sorry, hotel roommates.
We don't be
I'm awake at 5 o'clock in the morning painting myself just because I don't have anything better to do. But yeah, yeah, like,
Because
Let's
art.
take some
It
selfies.
is. We're art.
We are walking art. Cosplay is walking art.
We might have a little bit too much time, but you know, it's art.
It's very, very satisfying when it all comes together. That's my favorite costume.
I feel like a god.
Yeah.
Okay, you just feel like good. Like you can be somebody different for a second because you know our lives are crazy and hectic. So it's just good to get away and and marry people like this. And it's great.
Yeah, but that's actually a good wrap up. Although you probably have a most complicated costume, but that was.
It's the one that I'm currently making right now, which would be the wishing gown from Phantom of the Opera. So if you're familiar with Phantom of the Opera, where Christine is singing, wishing you were somehow here again, and it's a blue dress. She wears it pretty much throughout the second act. I am in the process of making it with my compatriot Marianne Butler, who is amazing because she helped me make Anna's coronation gown in 3 days with a box of scraps. I kid you not, she is a wizard. And so again, stitching bitching with your friends, you learn so much. Now we have like a bodice pattern that will fit me flawlessly.
Oh my gosh! And then you get to
And then I get to use that for other things. And like we just feed off of each other and pick up each other's brains and do it with your friends, and then it's so good and it just friendship and everything and cosplay and everything is wonderful and nothing hurts and everything is awesome. Do the thing.
It's a great hobby.
Any other questions? I think we're almost out of time. Time check?
Yes, you are.
What is the one piece of like construction advice, not like be yourself advice, like construction advice that you wish somebody told you when you first started?
Oh my.
Everything.
Yes. That's really.
Well, they gave me this advice, so I give it to you. If you're sewing it with the machine, iron it.
Yeah,
Before, after you make a seam, iron it.
You're gonna want to be lazy.
I just did
Don't do it. It will help seal it. It will smooth out anything in case then you have to make the hem. But it's easier to roll it if it's all smooth and straight. And there's something meditative about just slowly ironing it and just being like, I can do this. I'm not freaking out at my sewing machine right now and screaming at it. Why are you jamming again? Bobbin, work!
Y'all gotta wear the right underwear. Wear the right underwear. I didn't even y'all know. Okay, you see me in the back. You gotta wear your right underwear because we don't need to see. You know we don't need to see.
Dance belts!
Wear a dance belt. If you're a man, wear a dance belt.
Yeah.
If you're a lady, wear a dance belt. It costs money. It's worth it. Do it.
You gotta do some stuff, man.
Dance tights.
Dance tights are your best friends. They
Yeah.
just smooth and tighten everything.
Because
And
it's some stuff that can show. It's some things that don't need to show.
That we don't need to see.
You might be at home looking at yourself in the mirror being like, that's fine.
No, it ain't
fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. Tape
Oh,
it
it's
down.
there.
Tape it.
The outline and everything.
fashion tape. Always good.
I'm just trying to tell the truth. I'm just saying.
It's
It
real.
depends.
That's
Keep it your
That's the
purse.
truth. They gotta know the truth.
I'm not trying to lie to anybody.
So when they put some spandex on, they be like, I remember when they told me
Yeah.
Fashion
that
tape.
that's not supposed to be showing like that. Yeah. Because pictures would show you something different than a mirror will. Yes, definitely.
Especially flash photography.
Yeah, because I be in the mirror like, oh, this is great. And then the pictures be, I be like, oh no, that was wrong.
Take test photos. Take test photos of your costume. Figure
Test
out how to pose.
Mm-hmm.
Do it ahead of time.
Pose like your characters that you want to play. Just get the best poses and then practice it like exercise.
We
And
do it in front of the
figure it
mirror.
out. And
We
then
stand in
just,
front of the mirror
just-
and practice.
you
your
know,
poses.
just do it. And this
People will take pictures of you, and that's part of the fun, hopefully.
I watch him do it all the time. He just takes pictures of himself. Sunday talking about you,
Yeah.
Black Panther. He don't know me. Okay, well, we're,
Are we out? Are we?
Well, are we here for an hour?
yeah.
Then never mind. We are good to go. We have 20 minutes left.
All right.
Okay. So
Y'all
More
more
questions? Do we want more to finish the construction advice?
Yes, fire Elsa.
Oh, well, he raised his hand too after.
How old were you when you started doing cosplay?
Okay.
Officially?
Yeah.
So I was 16 going on 17. Yeah. But I've been dressing that before, like Disney movies all the time.
Oh, math.
I don't know.
Yeah. Early 20s. Yeah, 21.
I was late.
Yeah, I think I was about 19, 20. Somewhere in there. Kids these days start cosplaying when they're so young. I
love that.
Yeah, I was a fan of it. I was just a fan of it last weekend. It was like every other person was a high school kid. People were getting dropped off by their moms, and they're like, and it's not even them wearing like store-bought costumes. People are like, bye mom, stepping out in like ball gowns and stuff that they're making at home. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's amazing.
Like you're
The same thing we doing.
Yeah, but like to be on that level and to be so young is
Maybe
like,
some of them be better than me.
Yeah.
I feel like, hold on.
There are so
they
many-
looking up to me. Like people look up to, us.
Yeah.
And it's like we looking up to y'all too. Like it goes both ways.
Yes, yeah.
It goes both ways.
There are a lot of people who are a lot older too cosplaying, which is really cool. I know some like 60, 65, 70-year-old
They
people
look like
who
He-Man
cosplay,
and stuff like
which
that.
is really cool.
Doing this
Like you don't have to stop.
She
if
said,
you
did
like
you say
it.
90-year-old?
I didn't say 90.
Oh, you said
60,
90.
70.
That's in the 90-year-old button.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's
Age
awesome.
accurate Bucky Barnes.
I know.
That's
I wasn't gonna say that. So that's age accurate.
Yeah. Why not? I would probably be doing this until like I have to do General Leia or
Yeah,
until I'm
I
Aunt
have-
May's age.
I have a
Oh,
costume.
well, Aunt May, not the new young Aunt May.
So that was an excellent question.
Oh, he had the question.
Somebody else?
someone else had a
Yeah.
question.
Dream cosplay budget and time non-issue.
Oh, if
Budget and time not an issue.
Non-issue.
Can you see the sparkles in our eyes?
I know. I just bleed,
She's like
girl.
broke.
I'm
Wait,
like,
wait,
hold on.
my abilities or someone else's?
If you have
Any-
to buy
like
from someone else, might as well. What is your dream cosplay?
There's official Blizzard art of so World of Warcraft did. So there's official Blizzard art of Illidan, Stormrage, and the Lich King battling it out in their gender bent. And Illidan is just like wearing a loincloth over her beautiful breastises, and she's got like these wonderful wings, and then the horns and everything, and I think she's also got the weird like fawn legs going on, and I'm like, that's not physically possible, but I want to do it. So that's my like, I'm gonna work on that piece, one piece at a time, and maybe when I'm 86, I'll bust that out. But yeah, that's my dream.
You got some time.
I do have some time. I'll crank it out during my lunch break at work for the next
There you go.
20 years.
Perfect.
We're sorry, we were just talking
we were-
amongst ourselves.
We're kind of wearing
We're kind of
them,
wearing our dream
but
costumes.
the all white. You guys know all white's the one.
Yeah.
Really,
The
just
one real.
clean.
Yeah.
Just
so pretty.
kaboom. You know, that's going to be the next one, and it's stepping stones. I feel like I did Savage, and then got this one, and then it's like
You're gonna have the whole wardrobe.
I'm going to have the whole stuff, and it's all up in there. But yeah, so I mean that's definitely the next one. The next one, because my husband's going to do his Black Panther the ultimate. It's going to be like armored up, all the good stuff. It's going to be jazzy fast. He's right there kicking it right there.
I'm kind of wearing it. I was really, really, really obsessed with the Lord of the Rings costumes, and for years before I really cosplayed, I would just research them without actually making anything. Like I was just doing research for the fun of it. And so finally, a couple years ago, I was like, actually, I think I do have the skills now to make this. So I mean, it's patterned from scratch, it's completely from scratch. And
Just made a point. Confidence.
yeah.
We gain confidence. We gain
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
realize
confidence. You
that
start
I can
realizing,
do
like, I
this.
can do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do this. It's going to be awesome.
And like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I got a little teary when I finished it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We cried and stuff.
so, I guess the dream would be literally to just have Arwen's entire wardrobe. Like, just 7 days a week, 24/7 Arwen.
Really?
Yep.
That's amazing.
That's commitment.
That's commitment.
So, yeah,
I want to be committed.
because I'm a nerd.
I don't know. The only way I can be committed is if I fly for real.
Yeah.
You think I can work on that?
Yeah, if you
I
practice.
get a machine and fly
If
to
you
the
keep
top of
going
the
down the
mountain.
stairs,
Oh.
you'll take off.
Oh, too soon.
Is that like that? It was not, I didn't mean it like that.
She meant it like that.
You take some
Because I'm picturing you take
That would be fun. Skydiving as a superhero that can fly.
Why you got to do like that? I told you my deep start.
But I think I would have to say I'm actually in the process of making it. It's the wishing gown because I've already put it over $300. Just on fabric alone. It's
No, yours is worse. I don't care. Talk about it.
Yeah, but this was no budget, no time restraints. What is it? And I guess the wishing gown would be it because there's what's great, particularly in comic books too, is that each artist has their own different little unique spin to it.
That's not what's great about it.
Well, it is. I didn't like that at
It's
first.
great. It's not great when you're trying to be like, what color is that actually?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the colors ain't right.
But it also makes it a little bit more available for wiggle room because if you have the overall shape and the overall general design, you can bring in your own little details like how wide do you want your fishnets, Black Canary? Do you want the tight weave or do you want the open one? Because there's some fluctuations to that, right? And the same with the wishing gown costume is that every production does it a little bit differently. There's some productions that's way simple, and then there's the 25th anniversary where it's like bonnet, ruffles, and like dangly bits and like so you can find a happy medium and bring your own flair to it, and people will get it. They go, oh, you're Black Canary. Oh, you're Poison Ivy. Oh, you're Christine Daae and crying about how everything's terrible in your life right now. So I would say that or Rapunzel. Because she's my princess and I've always been saying, I gotta do Rapunzel, I gotta do Rapunzel, I am Rapunzel.
That's a long wig, girl.
Like, it's the, how do you make a wig that big and heavy, not heavy, and so your neck is going to have cramps? And how do you do this, and how do you do that? And just, and then the dress itself.
I think they'll do it one of these days, though. I believe in you.
I don't believe me. It's just one of those things. Oh, sure, I'll make this other thing.
One of these days. No, you're going to do it one of these days.
We have another
Anybody else
question.
have questions? Oh,
Yes.
Well, it's more of a comment on what you just said.
Okay.
I know that it's possible. I know the dress is possible because I made it.
Really?
Already showed me up.
Cool.
I know this possible. I'm making myself.
Yes. Already better than me.
I have to ask you a question, and that's how did you do the hair? Did you do the long hair?
Well, I said that I made the dress.
Ah, the hair's trickier, isn't it?
We couldn't finish
But
it.
you got it.
You tried.
Actually, you kind of have Rapunzel's hair like after she got her hair cut off. So,
It's true. Would be accurate.
got it. Does anybody else have questions?
Do something.
I got a question. Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
How old are you?
How old are you, sweetie?
15.
Okay. Got it.
Shoot, I gotta step up my stuff.
She asked for a sewing machine right now when she was 6.
What's that?
Wow.
She asked for a sewing machine for Christmas when she was 6.
Nice.
That is commitment. This is obviously she's more experienced than us. She's been cosplaying for most of her life. I can't say that about myself. Yes. All right. Do we have any other questions? Are we good?
All right.
Well, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you inspired.
Don't be making fun of me about my stairs and falling and stuff like she did. 'Cause she was wrong for that.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, someone has a question.
Oh, yes, a question, sir.
I've done many cosplay, like the clockwork, which I'm wearing right now.
Yes.
From Labyrinth
Ooh, awesome.
and Doc Brown's back.
That is fantastic.
All right. And if you think of anything, you know, if you have any questions, like, come find us. Like, and
Y'all can find us. Y'all know that.
come find us online. Like, I'm always happy to talk to you.
Google us.
Oh, we gotta get a picture of all of the bad.
Next.
said.